Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Conlin of Pop Crime TV. If you don't subscribe to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber, so please do so, and don't forget to hit the like button. All right, many of you know that I have been up to my ears in the Diddy trial, but we did not have court today because a juror went home sick with vertigo, or I guess didn't make it to court. He was on the subway, or she was on the subway and had vertigo symptoms, and then their partner called the court to alert them that they would not be coming in. And that's how it works. One juror's not here, the whole day is canceled. However, for me, that means that I can dig into what the heck is going on with R. Kelly. I have been seeing headlines here and there, and today I decided to jump in to figure out what the heck is going on. I have emailed his attorney, Beau Brindley, for the specific motion that I'm about to go over, because as of right now, my research has come from various news media articles and a news clip that we're also going to watch part of, but I don't have my hands on the actual motion. So just keep that in mind. And when I do get the motion, I'll put it up on my Twitter, I'll put it up on YouTube, and I'll make sure to cross-check everything and then update if anything was different. Okay, just as a refresher, R. Kelly, he was convicted in September of 2021 by a federal jury in Brooklyn, New York, on 9 counts of racketeering. And this was predicated on the criminal conduct of sexual exploitation of children, forced labor, and coercion and transportation of women and girls in an interstate commerce to engage in illegal activity. And he actually was sentenced to 30 years for this. And then he was sentenced to another 20 on top of that in Chicago for child porn. I'm saying that for the algorithm here on YouTube. Child porn, and he was convicted of molesting his goddaughter, among other girls, young girls that were minors. Now, he has appealed before. I believe his most recent appeal, it was 2024, and he was denied this appeal. And now his lawyers are making this media play, it seems, and filing these motions, and they actually are going to be arguing orally on Friday. Friday is the 20th. So I just read that. They're going to be arguing that he should be released on house arrest because his life is in danger. He is alleging that the actual prison staff, the prison guards, want him dead. They put out a hit on him, according to his lawyers. Now, let's start with this, okay? He was rushed, R. Kelly was rushed on June 17th to Duke University Hospital after an alleged overdose. And according to the court filings, prison staff at the North Carolina facility where he's held, they handed him this horrible, dangerous dose of anxiety and sleep meds. And this left him dizzy, seeing black spots, and collapsing unconscious in his cell. And Brindley, his attorney, claims that this wasn't an accident. He was actually diagnosed with an overdose, and then blood clots were found in his legs and his lungs. So he was surmising that this mixture of medication, again, was on purpose given to him by these prison guards. But that's not all. So when he got to the hospital, apparently, again, this is according to R. Kelly's lawyer, the prison guards yanked him out against the hospital staff's wishes because he was supposed to get some kind of life-saving procedure done on his lungs because of these blood clots. And I mean, I feel like that could have some truth to it. I mean, blood clots are very serious. They could cause pulmonary embolisms to happen and whatnot. And I'm obviously not a doctor, but I do know a little bit about this. So they did pull him out of the hospital. And Brindley, his attorney, is saying that this is a deliberate move by the Bureau of Prisons to put R. Kelly's life at risk, possibly to cover up some other type of misconduct in his case. And now, this isn't the first time that R. Kelly has said they're trying to kill me. apparently there was an inmate previously that had claimed that he was approached by prison guards, and this guy's name was Mikhail Glenn Stein. He was part of the Aryan Brotherhood, and apparently he was dying. And he said that he was approached by prison guards to end R. Kelly's life, or they offered him freedom, basically. And he decided to not do that and actually tell R. Kelly, saving his life instead, which is interesting because he is part of the Aryan Brotherhood. So not sure why all of a sudden he'd be so willing to help, but I don't know this man. What do I know? And his attorneys R. Kelly's attorneys went to try to have a meeting with this guy, and he would not return their calls. He would not meet with them. So who knows what's going on with that? But now R. Kelly, and according to his lawyers, they say that because he spoke out about all this, he was thrown into solitary confinement. And I'm sure the prison is probably saying, oh, well, that's for his own good because he's claiming there's a hit out on him, or people, want his life. So we put him in solitary. But R. Kelly is saying that these conditions are horrible. They are spider infested. He's got spiders crawling all over him. He can't talk to his family, and they are leaving him without food for days, and he's just being ignored as a whole. So yes, they are saying that his safety is very much compromised. And also at the same time, I think their ears perked up because when President Trump made a comment about Diddy, and he didn't even say he just said he would basically look into his case when he was asked about a pardon. I think that, yeah, Brindley's ears perked up because now they're trying to get a pardon from President Trump. They believe that President Trump understands, quote, corrupt prosecutions from his own legal battles. However, I don't think that R. Kelly's prosecution was corrupt. I don't think it was targeted. I think it was very clear what he was doing to young women and young girls for an extremely long time. And I think that he is right where he belongs. But that's just me. What I want to do really quickly is I want to just show you the prison that R. Kelly is at. It's this North Carolina facility, and it's actually been called a facility for celebrities or public figures, or basically the rich. They kind of have called this a country club. So I just want to play a second of that because it'll show you a clip of who has actually been in that prison before, and that includes Bernie Madoff, who actually died of natural causes inside that prison in 2021, as well as Joe Exotic. But Joe Exotic is actually in a medical facility in Fort Worth, Texas now. But let me go here really quick. I will just play a snippet of this and pause it on all the faces that you will see. Is this tab sharing? Okay, I will make it bigger so you don't see as much of me. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay. I do not know why this is not playing. Let's try to get to this.
Believe it or not,
Okay.
there is a prison. Believe it or not, there is a prison in the U.S. that caters specifically to the rich and famous, the most elite criminals in the world.
Okay, there we go. Oh, but I just missed it, of course. Sorry, I'll play it one more time and then, yeah, pause it.
Believe it or not, there is a prison in the U.S. that caters specifically to the rich and famous, the most elite criminals.
Okay, there we go. So it's like R. Kelly, John Hinckley Jr., who else do I recognize? Ted Kaczynski. Wow. Bernie Madoff. Interesting. Okay, there you go. That's really all I wanted to show you. And the fact that there is a whole video that literally it says America's Prison for the Rich and Famous Explained. Although I'm kind of in the mindset here that solitary is solitary. And if you're alone for a long period of time and you're being neglected, I guess that could be terrible anywhere and everywhere, even if you are at this alleged so-called prison for famous people, or a country club rather. Okay, I wanted to show you all a clip from Banfield. This is, there's two clips I'm going to show you. First, Let me show you a short from his attorney. I'll share this tab because this happened all this week and I had not been paying attention. So let's check this out.
The way his lawyers tell it, prison officials want R. Kelly dead. You heard me. The government, they say, has put a target on the singer in prison. And what's more, Kelly's lawyers say the Bureau of Prisons conspired with one of his fellow inmates, a member of the...
Okay, and really quick, the government has apparently filed a motion saying how outlandish these accusations are.
Aryan Brotherhood to murder him. What I just read, what I just said, it just all sounds very fantastical. Do you have proof?
Well, the answer is we do have proof, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about it. In terms of proof, the most powerful piece of proof I can provide is the sworn statement of the man who says that he was solicited to kill R. Kelly. Michael Glenn Stein has provided us with...
Okay, so apparently he got a sworn statement. He just didn't get his meeting at one point, but hey, a sworn statement is something. All right.
A full declaration signed, and he's given his willingness to sit down for a polygraph examination administered by either side to testify in court. He has given us the details of who solicited him and when. And I think that's the key here. These are not R. Kelly's allegations. These are the allegations being made by Michael Glenn Stein, who's the person who says that he was solicited to kill Robert. And
okay, I mean, that is interesting, man. Sometimes defense attorneys can be so convincing, right? That's interesting. I mean, I don't know the motive that this guy would have to lie if he is not going to be alive for much longer. I did read reports that this one particular inmate is terminally ill. So, right? I mean, why would he have to lie? But also, why do they care? Why would these federal prison guards or people at this federal prison staff, why do they care to kill R. Kelly so badly? Right? I don't understand. I really don't get that. Like, who cares? Like, he's gross. And he's obviously, we know what he is. I'm not going to say it on this platform, but I think that if they were going to, end his life, wouldn't they have done that a while ago? I mean, maybe not. They knew what he was this entire time. Okay, I do want to play another part of this interview. Hang on. Okay. Let me see. Fast forwarding this. Okay.
Now by Beau Brindley, attorney for R. Kelly. Mr. Brindley, I'm so glad to have you on the show. Thanks so much for being a guest. I mean, what I just read, what I just said, it just all sounds very fantastical.
Oh, we just heard this part. Hang on.
Come on and talk about it. In terms of proof, the most powerful piece of proof I can provide is the sworn statement
blah, blah,
of
blah.
the man.
Okay, cool. All right.
Signed, and he's given for a polygraph examination.
Oh, also, like polygraphs, I also think those aren't always admissible. I mean, I think in many trials, many criminal trials, they are not allowed to come in as evidence because they're not always accurate. Just throwing that out there.
He has given us the details of who solicited him and when. And I think that's the key here. These are the allegations that he was solicited to kill Robert and sent to Butner to do it from another facility. And we took significant time. Well, I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to put a lot of the pieces of the puzzle together as you're answering. And I'm just confused if this inmate allegedly said that the Bureau of Prisons sought him out to murder a fellow inmate. Why?
Right. Exactly. Why?
Well, that's an excellent question. And the answer to that is also pretty clear. Mr. Stein, in his declaration, has set forth the reason that was given. The reason is that Mr. Kelly was about to expose some facts that would be extremely inflammatory and damaging to the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice. And because of that, the Bureau
I mean, okay, but is anyone sorry, that was really close. Is anyone going to listen to him? Like, is he just going to say how bad the conditions are? Is he going to say what's been happening to him in prison? Because I feel like people wouldn't necessarily care, but maybe not. I don't know. All right, let's go on.
Bureau of Prisons instructed Michael Glenn Stein to go to Butner and execute R. Kelly. And Mr. Stein made clear and gave us extraordinary detail when we spoke to Mr. Stein. We didn't use this until we actually went down and met with Mr. Stein for hours. And he told us in extraordinary detail that this is not the first instance, that this happens all the time, that the Aryan Brotherhood has been directed to commit murders and beatings at the behest of prison officials for years.
What?
People have been killed who pose problems for officers, for lawsuits, and it happens. According to Mr. Stein, not only will he tell you that it happens, he will explain, when given the opportunity, in great detail, all of these murders in which he has participated, which he has directed other Aryan Brotherhood people to do. This being the most recent.
Can I ask you to just, like murder's a big deal, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yes, thank you.
And putting a target on someone's head, kind of a last resort. What kind of information are we talking about that allegedly R. Kelly is in possession of that would be unflattering to the government at a level that would, suggest that a hit was put on his head?
Well, let me say it this way. It's not allegedly having evidence. We do have evidence. And one piece of evidence we've already presented in the form of a signed declaration from Keyshawn Mogadamudi, Robert's former cellmate. And what he describes is having been solicited by prosecutors who are offering him a reduced sentence in exchange for stealing Mr. Kelly's privileged attorney-client correspondence, funneling it through an identified Bureau of Prisons officer, a corrupt officer, and then that was provided to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Okay, but again, he's not making any sense, or to me anyway. I'll let him finish, but again, you're making these accusations against prosecutors. Why do they want this attorney-client privilege information? What is he saying that would harm them or harm their reputation, besides what we're hearing now? He thinks there's a hit on them. He thinks that they're trying to get other inmates to do the deed. I mean, we're hearing about this now. So what does it matter? Am I missing something?
Because this man has made a statement, and both he and Mr. Stein are making statements that are absolutely not in their own personal interest, and yet they've done it anyway. And so we do have that evidence. And what that evidence means is we're talking about prosecutors and Bureau of Prison guards, not just guards, but officials, people that are officers. We're talking about these people committing crimes. The theft of Mr. Kelly's mail was a crime, and it was a violation of his constitutional rights. On top of that, there's another prison guard against which a lawsuit is pending, Tawana Ingram, who also stole other attorney-client correspondence.
Let me jump in here, because I've been around the block as you have as well. And if I had a dime for the number of inmates who lied under oath on the stand, you name it, I'd be on a yacht in the Med. However, suggesting that the government thinks that this alleged behavior of a cellmate of R. Kelly's is so egregious that the only remedy is to solicit murder sounds a bit crazy. Again, given it would be their word against an inmate. So you see where I'm coming from, right? That's why it sounds fantastical. And I guess the other question to add to that is that
I love how Ashley pushes back.
If the threat is over, meaning the man allegedly solicited to kill R. Kelly has come clean and said, I won't do it, I'm going to sing like a canary instead. Where's the threat?
The threat is the other members of the Aryan Brotherhood, another one of which has been identified, who has been asked to carry out what Mike Stein has been unwilling to do. That's what you have to understand. What we're talking about here is government officials who committed crimes, and people in the Bureau of Prisons that committed crimes.
All right, he's still not answering the question, and it's annoying me. I will put that clip in the episode notes if you want to go through and watch the whole thing, but it's really bothering me that he's dancing around the actual question here. So I'm going to stop right there. that's pretty much what's going on with R. Kelly. And again, when I do get this motion, I will go through it. Maybe I'll jump on a live stream or something. There's no court tomorrow either because of Juneteenth. So I'll try to do something once I get this, because I feel like it's going to say some really, really wild statements, but going into further detail than I just did. But anyway, guys, really quick and dirty 20 minutes. R. Kelly, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like, subscribe to Pop Crime TV. Wow, can't talk. And if you're listening, make sure you subscribe or rate The Outlier wherever you listen to audio podcasts. Thanks again.